municipal schools. If you would please stand up wherever you're at so we can say the pledges, I appreciate that. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I salute the flag
With the flag of the state of New Mexico, the Z as symbols among united cultures.
Thank you so much, everyone. Welcome again. Everybody on board. For the record, I don't see Ms. Esquivel or Mr. Gomez. If you could put that down that they're absent for now.
I just got a text from Edgar and he asked me to forward the link to a different email address.
Okay.
So he should be logging on in just a minute.
Okay. Any word from Ms. Esquivel?
No, I have not heard.
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, hey,
Okay.
how are you,
There you
Lisa?
go. Okay,
Good, and you?
everybody's on board. For the record, thank you. Approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written?
This is Susie. I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Cole. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Ms. Esquivel. I will poll each member for your vote. Mr. Barrera?
Aye. Can you hear me, sir?
Barely.
Aye.
Ms. Cole?
Aye.
Ms. Esquivel?
Aye.
Morelos? Aye. Motion carries. The approval of minutes for the regular meeting of September 21st, 2020. If there's any questions or comments on these, bring them up, please. Any questions or comments? If
No,
not,
sir.
I'll accept the motion to approve minutes as written for regular meeting of September 21st, 2020.
I'll make
This
that
is Susie.
motion.
Okay, I'll second. It's Susie.
Who made the motion? Ms.
Alyssa.
Esquivel? Okay, Ms. Esquivel made the motion. There's a second by Ms. Cole. Mr. Barrera?
Aye.
Ms. Cole?
Aye.
Ms. Esquivel?
Aye.
Morelos? Aye. Motion carries. Number 4, reports. Administrative reports, Dr. Lucas.
Okay, any questions on the operations report?
I have one, Dr. Lucas.
Okay,
On the appraisal of the south side property, where are we at?
we're trying to get, there's only one certified commercial property appraiser in the area.
Yes, sir.
And we've been in contact with the state senator Smith,
Uh-huh.
and we've been trying to get in contact with him. But I don't know. He hasn't gotten back to us yet. Has he, Ryan? Has he gotten back with you?
No, he hasn't gotten back to us yet. We left.
Yeah, we're still, we've
Okay.
tried multiple times. We're just waiting for
Okay.
him to get back. Unless we want to go maybe to Albuquerque or even further away.
No,
try to get an
I mean,
appraisal.
I was just curious of where we were at with that
Okay.
issue there.
And then also on the operations report, and I guess it could be deferred to athletics, but there's been a couple of questions on goals for basketball goals in the gym,
Right.
to replace. And that is a needed thing. And we're looking to see if we can use our non-expended bond money on that.
Okay.
Rahina, you wouldn't happen to know that, would you? If we didn't put that down specifically for our bond for the one we just got, the 750,000, can we change partially what we're going to do?
I haven't. Are you talking to me, Dr. Lucas?
No, I was talking to Regina.
Okay.
She may not be, she's muted.
I guess she can't hear you.
Yeah, we can come back. But
Okay.
if we can spend that, then I think it is a needed upgrade because it's a matter of safety issue trying to get them up and down and we have to change them.
Right, okay. Any other questions or comments on this one particular report?
I have one on the filters. Do we have an ETA on those, Dr. Lucas, or?
They have been ordered, they've been counted, but Ryan, do you know when they'll be in? Are they back ordered or are we in the process?
They are currently on back order and the vendor really doesn't know when they're going to be in. They're saying the earliest is December, but
So
there's such a high demand for them.
on that note, I mean, that's a requirement if we go back in January, correct?
Well, I mean, there are waivers. I mean, because if we can't get them, we can't get them. We can do other things like open windows, put fans in the room. You know, there are other things we can do.
Okay.
But right now, and we'll bring it up when we get to that point, but
Any other comments, statements, questions? Go ahead with the building reports, Dr. Lucas. Thank you.
Okay. Well, we can start with RVT, Adam.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All righty. So, Dr. Lucas, President Morelos, and if it pleases the board, I'll go ahead with my report. Like I said, I'm sticking to my North Stars on the reports. I wanted to keep it really short as far as information so I can explain everything. On relationships, you know, we had parent-teacher conferences. I think we hit a very high percentage, probably 95 to 97% on the date of. We're still initiating weekly parent contact, and we're always striving for positive contact on that issue. I really want to thank the teachers again for all their hard work, and I think we have one of the unsung heroes on our campus, Miss Mendoza, that deserves a lot of thanks as well for reaching out to parents and kind of being the mediator on our campus. She's doing an excellent job. Again, responsibility, our debt due to our students is education. So, you know, just kind of keeping up with the responsibility with the COVID protocol. I'm asking the teachers to do timely grading. I know they're overwhelmed with certain things, but, you know, that responsibility to students and parents is there. Trying to maintain professionalism at all times. I know parents and families at home are under a lot of pressure. And it's when I'm going into classrooms, I can kind of sense that frustration and tension from parents and all that. So I'm telling the teachers just to remember that there's a lot of frustration still, but you know, to kind of maintain bearing and be professional at all times. Number 4, engaging instruction and making sure that they're keeping their classes interesting and engaging the students and making sure that students are engaged at all times. And then preparedness. Really, that's a foundation for having any successful lesson and being responsible to the learning community. So we're trying to really get good at some of those things. Rigor, our state testing is coming up. So we tested today, 4th graders. I think we did really well. We prepared a lot last week. Came in very short notice from the state. You know, sometimes they don't give us a lot of time to get things done. But again, we did a good job with that. We're trying to align our assessments to standards and really continue on with having the students and parents know and understand what exactly we're teaching and why it's being taught. Using the assessments to advance teaching and learning. So that's a big part of it. But on the other end, on the SAT side, we're really looking at how we put kids into SAT, how we're getting data, and how our instruction affects all that. And we really want to give our students the best possible with using, you know, current research and data to move us forward. So the relevance, we just wanted an informed learning community, answer all the whys, right? All decisions that we're making on campus are data informed and research based. So we look at the research and then our students are providing data and how they perform and how they answer and how they respond to our teaching. And then the third, preparing our students for challenges now and in the future, right?
We lost him.
Adam?
He froze there, I think, Dr. Lucas.
Yeah. Okay. We can move on to Ralph at the DTMS.
Good evening. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
That is the first time I've heard Dr. Amador at a loss for words. Don't tell him I said that. President Morelos, members of the board, Superintendent Lucas, a few things I want to go over and just follow up on some of the things that Adam said as well. I gave you some information on the new evaluation tool, which is Elevate New Mexico. Last year, we started off with what's called the Interim Feedback and Observation Plan, and this year we're doing Elevate New Mexico. It is a test program, so with that being said, the evaluation process, there will be no summative reports at the end of the year. What I like about the process is it's teacher focused, so it allows teachers that support that they need. So when they plan their PDP, we as the evaluator have to offer feedback, and so we guide them in that respect. One of the things that I'm looking at, and I've asked staff members to look at, is just the use of technology with the remote learning. It just makes sense. We've come a long way since March, believe me. Our teachers have, our staff in general. Mr. A's come a long way. And so we're continuing to work on that, and that'll be part of the process for evaluation. It just makes sense to do that. Again, like I said, no summative reports at the end of the year, but that will transition into next year, and that'll take place. It is made up of the three components that I showed you there, the PDP, the professional development plan, the observation and scoring rubric, which is made up of the 4 domains that I put there in front of you, and then the surveys from students and parents and families, and that will be the entire evaluation. Again, I like it because it puts a focus on the teacher, and it's intended to improvement. So it's continuous improvement for teachers, and that's where it needs to be. So with that being said, let me go to the next part. I just put some things down that we're going to continue to try to focus on, and that is to create a culture for learning, but also to focus on students and what we can do to improve not only our instruction, but how we go about with classroom management, especially during remote learning. It's totally different. And so that's been a struggle for some teachers, but it's also been a great opportunity to learn. And so we're working on that. Then again, curriculum mastery, and then just improving our instructional skills. And so really that's something that you want every teacher to focus on. And so that's what we're trying to do there at the school. Just to reflect on what's important in the classroom for teachers and student growth. And so I just put a few things down that I thought that we need to continue working on. For example, student engagement, the use of technology, differentiation in the classroom among students, them being at different levels. So differentiating not only your instruction, but your assignments and your assessments as you go through that. The curriculum mastery, and then just, again, a culture for learning. And I talk a lot about that. What is the culture for learning within the school? And so that's a focus area, definitely. And then last but not least, but what do schools look like when they organize around a commitment to high standards for all students? And so I just put a few ideas that I had there. For example, just more of a focus on learning rather than just focusing on grades all the time. Grades are important, I understand that, but let's focus on learning and making that better as well. Teacher and staff commitment to student learning, and we need to focus in that area, and then sharing responsibility for everyone's learning. And that includes staff, the learning. Teachers need to continue to grow and learn. And so we're focusing on that. And then, Adam mentioned use of data. So again, data to guide curriculum, to guide instruction, to guide the assessment. And he mentions the SAT process, and that's so important. And so again, focus area for there at Dugan, and that's central. With that being said, we're also testing. We're doing our 5th graders, so it's beginning of year testing. We should be done by tomorrow. We're doing some makeups. So Ms. West and Ms. Garza are leading that, and I have to commend Mr. Ramirez because he's our testing coordinator, and he's done a fine job there. It was on short notice, but we got that together, and we should be done tomorrow. We'll take that data and use it to plan and prepare and move our students forward for the next set of tests. As far as parent-teacher conferences, our goal is always to have 100%. We didn't quite get there, but I do have 2 teachers that did have 100%, and that would be Ms. Garza at the 5th grade, and then Ms. Pompeo at our SPED teacher. She was also at 100%. For 5th grade, we have 28 students. We completed 23 of 28 for 82%. At the 6th grade, we had 36 students. We completed 29 for 81%. So we did complete 52 of 64, and we're right at 81% or 81.5. There's an area for growth. Not bad, but we could do a lot better. So we're going to focus on that at the next parent-teacher conference. At the 7th grade, we had 45 students. We completed 35 for 78%. And at the 8th grade, 23 of 32 for 72%. So at 6th and 7th grade, we were right around 75% for a total of 141 kids at this time. So with that being said, I'll open it up to any comments or questions. Oh, one last thing, and I don't want to take too much time on this. So we did start a new schedule today. I worked very closely with Mr. Roberson, and actually, it was his idea, so we worked together on it. We did start today, shorter periods, a shorter day. Kids aren't in front of the computer as much. A lot of positive comments. It was first day. There were some glitches, but it seemed to be moving in the right direction. So again, with that being said, if you have any questions or comments, I'll entertain those at this time.
Any questions, comments from the board? Mr. A, thank you for putting in, both you and Mr. Roberson, of course, so that shortening of the periods. How about, has anybody thought about like switching, like doing odd periods one day, even periods one day, and maybe even take a little bit of more frustration away from the teachers and the staff?
We have, certainly we've talked about a lot of different things, just bouncing information, not only with Dr. Lucas, but with us as principals. So definitely we are looking at that. We're also looking at when we do come back, that being said, hopefully in January or maybe even earlier, we're going to go to a hybrid model. So we're trying to figure out what's the best way to do that. So
okay.
Those ideas have been discussed. We just haven't put them into practice as of yet.
The short periods, I agree with you guys. Thank you for that. Any questions that, or comments to Mr. A? If not, we'll continue. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, high school with Scott.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well and staying healthy. Let me get my parent-teacher conference percentages out of the way, because we're never really as good as the elementary or junior high. But we had approximately, I'm going to stretch a little bit, but we had about 35% of parents showing up. So out of 122 students, the parents that I did talk to that actually did meet with the teachers, they said it was kind of it was different, but they didn't mind the kind of the online parent-teacher conference. So I think it's something that we can use or utilize even when we get back live. I think there's different options. We've learned a lot of different things during this remote learning that we'll be able to access and make things, more accessible for parents. I'd like to thank our teachers for actually reaching out to our parents. That was one of our goals, is all the schools, just make sure we're communicating better with parents. So, teachers are doing a better job with reaching out to parents with emails and things of that nature, just to make sure that they understand where their kids are at. And we're, inviting parents to contact us, whenever there's any kind of concerns. That way we can address things. We had our first parent advisory committee meeting last week, and we're going to have, or no, I guess not last week, but the week before. So we're going to have another one actually tomorrow, and we're going to see about maybe assigning different parents, like a 9th grade parent, a 10th grade parent, 11th grade parent, 12th grade parent to be kind of the designated parent to get a hold of to kind of address the needs and concerns at our schools. So we're looking forward to that. We're hopefully, like I say, I have no kind of imagination, but I know our parents do. So hopefully we can kind of come up with some creative things during this next 9 weeks to somehow get, kids and community involved with our school, following all the guidelines and whatnot. So we're moving on there. I want to shout out to Mrs. Kwame. She's our National Honor Society sponsor. We had a remote ceremony for our National Honor Society. I also want to thank Mrs. Kwame's husband, Kim and Rob Puckett, for getting all the technology and things in place for us. And if I can, I want to shout out to all the new members, well, the old members and the new members for our National Honor Society, which are Madison Miller, Vanessa Montoya, Tina Martinez, Angelina Aguilar, Jose Caldera, Carissa de la Garza, Rainy Gonzalez, Alessandro Granados, Genesis Hill, and Joy Newman. Those are our National Honor Society members. So big shout out to them. And then I also want to thank our nurse who's been keeping us informed weekly, daily, hourly on new guidelines that are coming out throughout the state or Department of Health. And it's been good working with the other principals during this time, because we are communicating about things of looking ways to improve our instruction, improve the well-being of our students and communities. So it's been working really well. And if you have any questions, that's all I have. So if you have any questions or concerns, I'll answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Roberson? Questions or comments from anybody? If not, we can continue, sir. Thank you, Mr.
Before we
Roberson.
move on to athletics, Adams came back on. I think we kind of cut him off, or he got cut off when he had to reboot. But did you have anything else to add, Adam, or were you finished with your report?
It was just really if the board sees any room for growth for me or RBT, and then entertaining any questions. I didn't think you guys wanted to hear me talk again, so I didn't raise my hand or anything.
Any questions for Mr. Amador? Now we can continue, Dr. Lucas. Go ahead.
Coach Huber? Are you there, Coach?
Now, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're unmuted.
You missed. I was talking away right there. Yeah, sorry on the last board meeting, guys. I missed. I kind of got pretty sick there right before the board meeting. But anyway, the athletic. I sent you guys a report Tuesday, and then obviously Tuesday afternoon everything changed again. We canceled volleyball, and I kind of figured that was coming because our governor wasn't replying, to the NMAA or to the coaches or anything. So when I knew when the governor wasn't replying, I kind of figured that she was going to end up canceling the fall seasons. And for us, that only meant volleyball. Other schools, it meant a lot more than just volleyball, cross country and golf and stuff. But with us, just volleyball. And I know our girls were kind of disappointed because I think our girls were probably looking as good as I've ever seen our volleyball team look. But on that same thing too, like I told them, I think it was a good thing. And you always try to keep the positive in them because you don't want them to get down because they have enough to be down about already. And, we had Cobre, they canceled all their fall season. Mescalero canceled. So they weren't going to play volleyball anyway. So I was already going to be out 4 games. And so, it was going to be tough. I didn't want our girls to play a partial season. So I was trying to fill those spots, and that made it hard. I finally got those spots filled. Then it didn't matter anyway. They canceled everything on Tuesday afternoon. And so I'm probably going to go back to the original schedule when they decide to move our volleyball season. They can't, the NMAA is having a hard time trying to fit it in. I'm going to make a prediction. I don't know if it'll be true, but I'm going to bet it's going to be kind of maybe after in the middle of the season of football. The reason why I don't think they want to overlap volleyball with basketball going on. I know they're going to with football because I don't think they have a choice, but I think they're going to try to spread it out. They haven't decided that yet. At least I haven't got an email as of right now where they're going to squeeze volleyball season in when we come back to school in January. But I'll obviously will keep you guys informed on that. Scheduling wise, well, in the athletics, okay, the things that changed, we obviously got rid of pods of 9, and so that really cut me out. You know, it's amazing to be able to get contact with your kids, and I don't think a lot of people understand the value of that. You know, when we went to pods of 9, I waited, I kept pushing off as long as we could before I got to see all our boys for football as a football coach. And we finally got out there and we took 18 kids a day. We had 2 pods going, and we took them kids, and our grades were, you know, Robertson's on them constantly, everyone's on them constantly, but there's a difference when I can see my kids every day to get on them and tell them to bring me grades every day. And just in that 2 weeks time, I seen grades go up dramatically. And it's just sometimes, you know, unfortunately, I don't think they get a lot of that pressure, you know, and to say athletics is important to our kids, guys, it's an understatement. And but I think we did okay, you know, because the kids got to understand we're only going by semester grades anyway. And then they were going to let volleyball and everyone be eligible till semester. But at semester, we're going back to our old eligibility. Kids can't have Fs. And with this kind of learning the way we're doing it now, it worries me. I ain't gonna lie. And those we Robertson and I, we've already kind of put out the kids that we're really concerned about, and we're on them constantly, talking to parents, calling them and talking to them. But on all that, I cancel going to the field right now. And the reason why is, for one, it's hard for me to make sure I have my coaches, my volunteer coaches and stuff out on the field. And not just that, it's hard for me to say, well, I can't have you guys, I'm not gonna have you guys, because I can only have one pod out there. So it changes all the dynamic. Or a quarterback throwing the ball at 3 kids, not throwing to the rest of the kids. So we just canceled until, I think, 3 weeks, they might change the whole thing again. So we'll just wait for 3 weeks and see if it changes, and then we'll start going again. Volleyball, they still are meeting. They canceled tonight, but they're going to still meet, but they're going to do their groups. We're going to probably do 2 pods, maybe 3. It depends on the room. I told coach we got to make sure we spread them out, but 2 for sure. And then they're going to keep going, but they're only going to go to a few days a week. What we plan, I talked to our basketball coaches. I talked to Coach Plowman and Coach Salcido. We're going to go right after Turkey Day, that week after Turkey Day, we're letting them all loose. It's all basketball, okay? And because basketball will start, our first basketball game according to schedules right now is the first week of January when we come back. And I know I'm feeding you a lot of information because I missed last time. I want to make sure you guys got everything. But we kick it off January 9th. That's our first game. So them kids don't have a lot of practice to get prepared. And so they're going to probably start going a couple days a week. They probably won't overload them on that, and start getting our kids back going over Christmas, or not Christmas, but that time, to get them ready for January, because the first week of January we're rolling. The one other thing that's new with our athletics, I did start an athletic page because they weren't going to let fans in the games. And I've been wanting to do this. I talked to you guys earlier about it. And what we did, instead of linking it with our page at the school, I just made a new one. And obviously Ryan he's a administrator on there, as I am. And so we have access to it. And that way we asked everyone to, comments, to keep them polite and everything. You guys can look at the page. It's called Lordsburg Maverick Athletics, not Mavericks, Maverick Athletics. And like the page, check it out. I'm going to keep trying to post on there. Usually before I post on there though, I always run it by the boss. Like if something's important anyway, I'm going to let them know, hey, I'm going to go ahead and post this on there just in case. I don't know. I just think that's what I should be doing. So that's what's going on right now. But I'm sure if y'all guys have any questions, I'm here to answer. So let me know.
Any questions or comments for Coach?
I had a question.
Yes.
So whenever we go back in January, how are the athletics gonna choose between volleyball, basketball, football? Is there gonna be a problem with having them choose?
No, we're not going to choose. Absolutely not. No, we're going to have, okay, this is going to be a tough one, guys. And I'm telling you, this is the kind of situation we're in. So our kids are not only going to have school, they're going to have a different kind of school, probably, because we're going to do A and B. So academically, I'm worried already, because that's going to be a different, just like I am right now. but we're going to play all sports. So for instance, let's talk about girls basketball. I think girls basketball probably, unless something dramatically happens, I think our girls should and probably play for a state championship, right? Because everyone knows how good we are. But on that, they're going to, as we start volleyball, when we start football, they're going to be overlapping. And they could play in a state championship basketball game and the very next day play in a first volleyball game. And so, and same thing with boys. So the boys make the playoffs. If the boys go to the playoffs, that they will be playing a game on a Tuesday and playing a football game on a Friday. But what I'll do, and what I plan on doing with all the coaching staff, for football, for boys basketball, I'm going to practice in the morning. I won't mess with. For one, DJ has his job. He can't get off, so I'll let him have the afternoons. I'll take the kids in the morning, the ones that do both sports, and we'll practice in the morning. That way they're prepared for both sports, and then vice versa. Baseball, for instance, I feel pretty confident if we keep our kids eligible, we're going to be pretty competitive in football also. And so what will happen? Baseball will start, and we'll still be hitting playoffs. And so the same thing. I'll have Coach Newell because he's also a teacher, so obviously he could go in the mornings. He'll have my kids doing baseball, and then we'll be doing football in the afternoons. Does that answer anything?
Yeah, just hopefully it all works out.
For sure.
I think the biggest thing, though, I'm telling you, I'm trying to stay positive as heck with our kids. I do, because they got so much. It's just so hard. I'm telling you, it's hard on our kids, and because they miss being with their friends every day. It's a tough thing. And so I just try to, and all my coaches, when I talk to them, I call them individually, and I just talk to them, just make sure you say the positive stuff. Why is the benefit that we moved our volleyball season? Because now our girls will get to play a whole season, and maybe someone would have came up with COVID and they would have canceled our season and not have volleyball at all. So maybe it's a bonus, and then that gets the girls, oh yeah, that's right. And then it's the same thing now and I tell them, you guys, you get an opportunity, and I act like, oh, if I was back in school, man, how would I love to be able to play a basketball game on a Tuesday and a football game on a Friday, So I know between you and I, that's tough. But anyway, any other questions?
Any other questions for Mr. Hooper?
Sorry, I was long-winded.
No, that's fine, sir.
Okay.
If not, we can continue. But before we continue, Dr. Lucas, I want to thank you and your administrators, Coach Hooper, for all these detailed reports. And please send all our, what can I say, thank yous to all the staff and all the teachers that work so hard. Let's keep positive. Let's keep moving forward. I appreciate all your work, all of you. From my age to teachers to administrators. Thank you. Go ahead, Dr. Lucas.
Okay, last report's truancy, and they made contact with what, if my math's right, 146 contacts either via email, phone, or letter home for the month of September. And that's just through truancy. That doesn't count all the contacts made at each campus, because the campuses are calling as well.
Any questions on the truancy report from anybody? No? Okay, we can continue, Dr. Lucas. Public forum, no?
Any comments or anything, Ryan, on YouTube?
We have no comments yet.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Number 6, Board of Education issues, presentation of excellence and student achievement award. Dr. Lucas.
Yes, sir. And first, I'd like to thank Susie too for reminding me about this and suggesting we do it online. We were going to wait initially till we're back in session, but there's no telling when that'll be. So we're going to try to do it virtually. But I'll read the award here. The Excellence in Student Achievement Award recipient is sponsored by the New Mexico School Boards Association, and they're presented to individuals selected by our local boards of education throughout New Mexico who have played an important role in improving student achievement in their local school district. So 64 school boards participated in this year's program, and 142 recipients were selected. So our recipient for last school year was Frank Acosta. And we do appreciate him. He has done a remarkable job, continues to do a remarkable job, and we appreciate everything he does. The plaque, I hope you can see it. But it's it's a nice plaque. We'll send it, Frank, to you through office mail. We'll have to get it over to DTMS. It's been sitting here in my office since probably May or June. But we do appreciate you. And if any of the board members have any comments to Frank or
Any comments, statements to Mr. Acosta?
This is Susie. Mr. Acosta, I just want to thank you for all the extra time that you put in with the kids and tutoring them, assisting them with math, English, any subject that they need. And I'm sure from what I've heard, a lot of parents are very grateful to have you. And I am truly grateful that you are part of our staff. Congratulations on your award.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else?
Mr. Acosta, this is Edgar. I want to say the same thing. Thank you. Thank you to you, to your wife for everything that you guys do in our community. You guys have been supporters of me for a long time, and you're very deserving of this award.
Thank you. That's very kind of you to include my family. Thank you very much. They're a big part of anyone's success in any field. You have to have that kind of support. It's a real honor to be able to work with the kids of this community. I've always felt that way. I've always felt it's like a duty, and we try to do the best we can and offer everything we have with the expertise that we have. And I'm also real encouraged to hear so many positive things, even tonight, in working with Mr. Almanzar at the DTMS, excellent administrator. Everyone I think in Lordsburg that works with school age kids, just from the board on down, from Dr. Lucas on down. IT department is just amazing. And I think we're really blessed to be able to work with the kids of this community, and we're hoping we can keep them as safe as possible, especially in these uncertain times. But I am honored to receive that award, and I'm hoping to be able to continue to give everything we have to help the kids here. Thank you.
yes, sir.
Anybody else?
I'd like to say thank
Again,
you.
thank you for your commitment and responsibilities that you take on for us, Mr. Acosta. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jonah, were you going to say something?
Just thank you. Just echo what everyone else said. I think you were my teacher in elementary school, and you've kept going strong since then. So
You were probably taller than me then.
thank
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Almanzar, it's just a pleasure to have him at the school. He's such a great resource. Not only does he tutor our kids, but he tutors a lot of the high school kids and even kids that are at the university level. So his commitment to the school district is outstanding. So thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to have you at the school.
Thank you, sir.
Good job.
And
Go
I
ahead,
got
Dr. Lucas.
Okay, and we also had 2 retirees at the end of the school year last year. Both were in the cafeteria, and both did 22 years. Again, we were going to wait till we were in session, but same situation. We don't know when that will be. So the first we have is our cafeteria manager, Judy Martinez, and she retired with 22 years of service. They were unable, both of them, I believe, were out of town today, so they're unable to be here, but we will get their certificates mailed or their plaques mailed to them. So there's Judy Martinez. And then we have Ana Estrada, again, with 22 years of service, and we do thank them for their service. That cafeteria is a hard job, and we appreciate all the work that they put into it.
Any comments, statements from the board?
Just a congratulations to both of them for their dedication to our school district and our students, and thank you for the time that you put in. We appreciate you.
Ditto on that. Anybody else? If not, we can continue, Dr. Lucas.
Okay, that was it for the awards. Now it's on to the consent agenda.
Okay. A, approval of accounts payable and payroll liability transactions. Is there any questions to Dr. Lucas? I think I have one, sir. Let me, hold on. If I can find it. Number 26412. I think it's on the first page, Dr. Lucas.
It's a renewal service for Intrado Interactive Service.
Uh-huh.
And Ryan might be able to answer. I don't have the information on what that. Brian, do you know? Do you have more information on that check?
How much was it?
26412.
24612.
Intrado Interactive Services.
26412.
Ryan, do you know?
No, do you know the, or how do you spell that name? And I can look it up.
INTRADO. Interactive Service. I'm sure that's a software. Or I'm not sure. I would think that is a software.
Just that I've never seen that name there before, so that's why I'm asking.
So it is the school messenger.
School Messenger.
Yeah,
Okay.
12 months.
They must have changed their name, or because I'm not familiar with that name.
I've never seen that name either, sir.
Yeah, it says, and that has like a doing business as, I don't know if they changed it or added it. It's Intrado Interactive Service Corp.
For School Messenger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's our voicemail that goes out when we call parents or email.
Okay, that's fine. That's the one I had. Anybody else have any questions? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve accounts payable and payroll liability transactions as written.
This is Susie. I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Cole. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Gomez. Ms. Esquivel?
Aye.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye.
Ms. Cole?
Aye.
Mr. Barrera?
Aye.
Morelos? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Approval of budget adjustment request, sir.
We have 3 bars to approve. I would like to go back to the checks though, for 1 minute, just to give you a heads up that we did have somebody breach our Bank of America card, or my Bank of America card, and made a fraudulent charge for like $200 something. We caught it. And so my card's being replaced, but they went through PayPal and used it. So if you ever see any wild, I mean, but anyway, if you see a strange thing on the Bank of America bill, that's what it is. So we have to pay it. We've contested it, and then we'll be reimbursed, you know, when the bank gives us the credit back.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the info.
And then we've had 3 bars. The first one is really not I mean, it's a bar, but it's a net zero change. This year they created a new budget code for at-risk. And so we had to change several of what we had budgeted out of one fund into another fund to cover at-risk for some of our title monies and stuff. So it's a net zero, but it's just changing categories. If you look through,
Okay.
you know, it'll show, you know, what was moved and what was
Any
done on
questions?
this.
Can we move on these all together or just one at a time, Dr. Lucas?
Well, we can do it all.
All at one time? Please?
Yeah. Because I don't have them listed down separately. Second one is for a total of $289. I was unaware they didn't award that, but anyway, we got a little grant for breakfast for elementary students,
Right.
for a total of $289.
Okay.
And that's what this is. It's the initial budget for the $289. And then the last bar is we applied for a next gen CTE grant and we were awarded $99,750. And that will buy us new welders, new automotive tools, supplies for the auto shop,
Oh, okay.
business computers, anything basically for CTE. But we specifically requested like a plasma cutter, a TIG welder, a battery for our forklift. Just the battery for the forklift's like almost $9,000.
Wow.
And then a classroom set of computers for the business education class. So, but in grand total, we were awarded $99,750. So this is the initial budget for that.
Any questions or comments before we make a motion?
I think that last one for the CTS was a great grant that we got there.
Exactly.
Thank you for
Yeah, it
obtaining
was.
that.
It was really shocked that they approved it because the guy kept saying, well, just go big. You know, we have a lot of money, and they did. I mean, I did not expect it to be approved for that much.
Well, that's
Oh,
great.
thank you for applying for it.
Yes. Is there a motion to approve the budget adjustments as written?
I'll make the motion, Mr. Morelos, 403.
Thank you, Mr. Gomez. Motion by Mr. Gomez. Is there a second?
This is Susie. I'll second that.
Second by Ms. Cole. Mr. Barrera?
Aye. Sorry, sir. I was muted.
That's okay. Ms. Cole?
Aye.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye.
Ms. Esquivel?
Aye.
Mr. Morelos? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, guys. Discussion items, status of COVID-19 in the district, Dr. Lucas?
Right. Just wanted to give you a follow up on, we've had 3 employees, fairly recently testing positive for COVID-19. We've had most of the admin building on quarantine. Just myself and Tammy have been here. We have one of the quarantines returning tomorrow. The cafeteria worker has been able to return to work. One quarantine is able to return tomorrow, and then the rest of the quarantine will be able to return Thursday. All the people that have tested positive for COVID-19 are back to work. And it's kind of funny the way it works, because when you test positive, they go from your first day of symptoms, then you have to do your 14 days. And for the quarantine, if you've been exposed, it goes from your day of last exposure. So that's why our people are on quarantine longer than the people, or not longer, but are not coming back as soon as the people that actually had the disease. And our county right now, I think, has gone from green to red as far as like progression. So even if we wanted to start back school now, we could not.
Right. Dr. Lucas, and is there enough cleaning materials, disinfectants around that you can use around your areas?
Yes, we got more on order. There's some on back order. We've got one of the sprayer sanitizers in and the sanitizer to use. We've got a couple of more on order. We got, the big one that's on wheels. We've ordered a couple that they can use on a backpack, just for smaller areas.
Any questions or comments for Dr. Lucas? Thank you, sir. We'll continue. Action items number 9. Consideration of approval of a resolution and proclamation of special school bond election. Go ahead, Dr. Lucas.
Okay, these are just AM is we have to approve it to have our special election in February.
Right.
The documentation is there. It requires a signature. Right now, we haven't set the amount or anything. Right now, it's just the resolution to hold the election in February.
Right. So, is there a motion to approve this resolution and proclamation of a special school bond election, so we can move forward with this?
This is Susie. I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Cole. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Gomez. Ms. Esquivel?
Aye.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye.
Ms. Cole?
Aye.
Mr. Barrera?
Aye.
Morelos? Aye. Motion carries. B, Dr. Lucas. Consideration
the-
of and approval of resolution authorizing and directing special school election procedures.
Right, that is our bond company has set up the, I mean, and it's just following state law on the guidelines, what we have to do, our procedures to hold the
Right.
election, what will happen.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Dr. Lucas?
Dr. Lucas, do you know what the cost for this election it's going to be?
Well, not offhand, we won't know until it's final, but last year, it was a little under $10,000. We cannot use bond money to pay for it. It has to come out of our general operating expenses.
Okay.
So I would anticipate about the same amount, between $9,000 and $10,000.
More than likely, yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions or comments? If not, I'll take a motion to approve for the approval of resolution authorizing and directing special school election procedures.
This is Susie. I'll go ahead and make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Cole. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Gomez. Mr. Barrera,
Aye.
Ms. Cole,
Aye.
Mr. Gomez,
Aye.
Ms. Esquivel,
Aye.
Morelos, aye. Motion carries. Thank you, guys. Discussion and possible action on policy services advisory 208 JE supplement, student attendance supplement. Dr. Lucas.
Right. Last year we passed a revised attendance policy, and then Pat suggested that we have a supplement. And so this supplement adds a few things, but I also talked to our school attorney, and she said instead of doing a supplement, to just change the policy a little bit that will reflect both the supplement and the regular. So both versions are in here. The School Board Association's supplement, and then from our school attorneys, just a revised JE student attendance. So personally, I would recommend going with just the revised student attendance policy, and it stays into effect. It's less wordage, but still covers the same as the policy plus the supplement, if that makes sense.
It does. Any questions or comments for Dr. Lucas?
If the attorney's advised, I mean, I don't know why we should go against them. I mean,
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Just this is the policy services from school boards, you know, it's a service we pay for, and this is what they advised. Like I
Right.
said, our attorney just said that particular policy, the way they've done it, she thought it would be better to go this way and do just the one policy without the supplement. So it revised the policy we did last year a little bit. And all that's redlined. It should be in your copies,
Right.
what the changes were.
I think as long as it's got the meanings that they're looking for by PED, I think there shouldn't be any issues.
Yeah, no, there won't be any.
Any other questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the 208 advisory policy.
I'll make the motion.
This is Susie. I'll make that motion to accept. Edgar, can you-
Mr. Gomez made the motion. Ms. Cole will take you as a second. Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Ms. Esquivel,
Aye.
Mr. Gomez,
Aye.
Ms. Cole,
Aye.
Mr. Barrera.
Aye.
Morelos, aye. Motion carries. D, discussion and possible action on policy services advisory 209 JJJ extracurricular activity eligibility. Dr. Lucas.
Right, this revises our policy and it made some changes, just mainly with wording. It says that a public school student should have at least a 2.0 grade point average. And a student shall, a big thing, regular attendance must be maintained and a student should not be absent from school for interscholastic extracurricular activities in excess of 15 days per semester, and no class shall be missed in excess of 15 times per semester for interscholastic extracurricular activities. So it's beefing up our athletes' attendance requirements.
Right. Dr. Lucas, is this one particular policy throughout the state? Is it basically the same thing? It has to be, doesn't it?
Right. When the Policy Services Advisory Senate, if we adopt it as written, then it'll be the same as pretty much every other district, unless they have modified it like we did just a minute ago with the attendance policy.
That's all I had. Any other questions or comments from Dr. Lucas on this? If not, I'll accept the motion to accept Policy Services Advisory 209 JJJ extracurricular activity eligibility. Motion?
This is Susie. I'll make that motion to accept.
Thank you, Ms. Cole. Motion by Ms. Cole. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Ms. Esquivel. Mr. Barrera?
Aye.
Ms. Cole?
Aye.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye.
Ms. Esquivel?
Aye.
Morelos? Aye. Motion carries. I think we've done all our business, taken care of all our business tonight. But again, I want to thank all the administration and teachers. Congratulations to all the recipients of awards and retirement plaques. With all business taken care of, this meeting is adjourned. God bless all of you and stay safe.
Thank you.
A
Same
good
to you.
rest